At this point, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from California, Mr. Berman.
The gentleman from California is recognized for 3 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentleman for yielding me this time. I oppose this resolution. I oppose it because I think its provisions with respect to our own economic recovery and the production of jobs is offset tremendously by its passage. But I want to focus my time on the limited question, but the very important question of what's in and what's not in security funding. Because security funding, as has been pointed out, is exempted from the requirements to go back to fiscal year 2008 functions or less. The chairman of the Rules Committee, when asked whether foreign assistance, diplomacy, and development was part of security at the Rules Committee, was that part of the exemption, said no. My definition, me, David Dreyer, chairman of the Rules Committee, is, out of which this committee, this resolution comes, is, as we have outlined in here, this is discretionary spending. That is, non-security spending is discretionary spending other than defense, military construction, VA, and Homeland Security. I assume the gentleman's interpretation is one he still holds to less than a week later. And,
yield.
I'm happy to yield.
I will say to my friend that is the definition of security spending: defense, Homeland Security, VA, and military construction.
Thank you. I'm reclaiming my time.
I thank my friend for yielding.
I appreciate the gentleman reaffirming that position. Now let's take a look at what that means. That means not exempt from these drastic cuts are weapons and training to build the capacity of key partners in the fight against terror in Yemen, in Pakistan, and the Philippines. That's all part of our security assistance package, part of our international affairs budget. Financing for the purchase of U.S. military equipment to ensure Israel's qualitative military edge. Defense items and services that enable other countries to cooperate with us on counterterrorism. In Afghanistan, it's cuts that would mean an end to the civilian surge, would force the military to perform civilian jobs. The reductions would harm 4 provincial reconstruction teams and forward operating bases, security forces and police training, explosive ordnance disposal, counter-narcotics and poppy eradication programs. In Iraq, state programs that would be harmed by virtue of the gentleman's definition of non-security funds that have to be dramatically cut back, are training for Iraqi police and security forces to take over when the U.S. troops depart, funding for our special inspectors general in Iraq and Afghanistan to ensure that programs are designed to achieve maximum impact and properly managed and implemental. May I have one additional?
Gentleman's time has expired.
Gentlemen, I give the gentleman 15 seconds.
The gentleman
everything the gentleman has stood for in his years in Congress is going to be undermined by virtue of what he's proposing.